Welcome to Structure Fishing. As Buck Perry says, knowledge is the key to fishing success. Structure Fishing is a show that is packed with fishing knowledge. Regardless of your skill level or where you fish or what you fish for, you will learn something on each show that will help you catch more fish. We'll take you on the water and into the classroom. Let's see what we have for you on today's show.
Coming up later on HLS News, after 51 years, Illinois has a new state record walleye. Stay tuned for that, full story, and more later on in the show.
In today's classroom, I'll be discussing the basic movements of the fish. This classroom session will be the building block for all future classrooms. But now, we're going on the water. I'm fishing Lake Mendota in Madison, Wisconsin. This is the largest of the Madison chain, and it is a great multi-species lake. In addition to white bass, smallmouth bass, and walleye, it's a trophy northern pike fishery. It's midsummer, and the northerns are at their peak summertime activity. All right. We're fishing on Lake Mendota. We just took our first fish of the day. We got some pretty good conditions today. I expect we're going to see a lot of fish, or I'm hoping so. We haven't had a cold front go through for almost a week now, which is almost unheard of up here in the Midwest. We have such a long stretch of stable weather. We got some overcast conditions, chance of rain all day today and tomorrow. And we just got the first fish of the day. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got, yeah, that's a small northern. He hit really aggressive. I thought this was a bigger fish, but it is just a small northern. I'm sure we'll see some bigger fish moving as the day goes on. So, well, it's a good start. Let me explain what we're fishing with here today. We're getting most of these fish on deep break lines. I'm talking like 25 to 30, 32 feet deep. In order to get that deep, I'm using a Buck Perry spoon plug that was designed for depth and speed control, and I can get this lure down, depending on my line length, you know, anywhere from 22 to as deep as 32 feet. And what I have on my line here today is a three-way up here, and on the shorter line here I have my crankbait, which is a spoon plug, and on a longer trailer line I'm using just a single hook with about a 4-inch twister tail. And with this presentation I can get, you know, the large northern pike and also smallmouth bass, white bass if they're in the area will tend to hit the twister tail. So that's our presentation for the day. All right, we got another fish on here. I can tell this is a smaller fish. It's probably a fish that hit the twister tail we have here. And that's the benefits of fishing this this three-way with a you know, larger lure and a small twister tail is that you'll get bonus white bass, smallmouth bass, and even walleye. And yeah, we got a white bass. So this twister tail here will put a lot of extra fish on the boat. And sometimes if the northern pike are pretty dormant, not that inactive, you'll catch the northern pike occasionally on the twister tail as well too. Oh, there we go. Oh, got a nice fish just hit us on the troll here now. It's hard to tell how big these northerns are sometimes because they hit hard. Even the small ones hit really hard, and you think they're big. And we got really good conditions today, so these fish are a little extra aggressive. This is a nicer one. Let's see what we got here. As you can see, you can probably see in the background here that we are, you can see the Capitol here. I mean, we're downtown Madison. You got big fish right in the backyard of downtown Madison here. Yeah, it's a nicer brother. We're still, let's get this guy in the boat here and show you. There we go. They're getting a little bigger. I mean, it's not uncommon to get 40-inch northerns out here. Hopefully before the day's over, we're gonna get one that big or close to that, but it's a little better than the last fish, but very aggressive fish, so I think we're gonna have a pretty good day out here today.
He started the modern-day era of freshwater fishing. He is known as the father of structure fishing. His discoveries and teachings have brought pleasure and success to millions of fishermen who never even heard his name. He was inducted into the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame and the Bass Hall of Fame. He is Buck Perry, founder of the National Spoon Pluggers of America. The National Spoon Pluggers of America continues on today. It is an educational organization comprised of some of the best structure fishermen and clubs across America. The National Spoon Pluggers of America's non-competitive, supportive atmosphere is focused on sharing and helping each other, and where fishing is still a family sport. For a $30 yearly membership to the National Spoon Pluggers of America, you will receive a bi-monthly newsletter that contains articles by certified instructors who are experienced and intimately familiar with the techniques to help you catch more fish. Receive access to back issues. Receive Spoon Pluggers of America boat decal and patch. Receive an autographed portrait of Buck Perry. A copy of Buck Perry's Basic Fishing Guidelines. You will be invited and welcomed to attend networking events and outings held all over the country. At these outings, you will have opportunities to learn from the best there is, to ask questions and get real answers. You will receive a directory and have access to members and clubs across the country. As Buck says, knowledge is the key to fishing success. Start your knowledge now and become a member. Log on to www.nsoa.info to join.
Hi, welcome to the classroom. I'm Jim Shell. On each classroom, we'll be discussing a subject that makes us a better structure fisherman. Our goal as a structure fisherman is to go out on the water and look for and locate the school of big game fish, whether it be bass, walleye, northern muskie. There are many things involved in becoming a successful structure fisherman. Some of the topics on future classrooms will be controls, tools, structure breaks and break lines, weather conditions, water conditions, presentation of lures, lake types, mapping a structure, how to interpret a fishing map, and many more. Today we'll start with the basics of them all, and that's the basic movements of the fish. This is the foundation for all future classroom sessions. Buck Perry would often start a seminar by telling you where he can find the fish in your lake. He would say the fish are either in the shallows or the deepest water in the area or somewhere in between. Now it may sound like a funny statement, but if you think about it, it is quite true. We mentioned shallow water and deep water, so let's define that. Shallow water is anything that extends from the shoreline or 0 feet down to a depth of 8 to 10 feet, and deep water is anything greater than 8 to 10 feet. A distinction must be made between shallow water and deep water for a couple of reasons. If the school of fish should migrate towards the shallows at that depth, it becomes a scatter point. Also, our presentation of lures is much different in shallow water versus deep water. More will be said about that in future classrooms. Now we're going to make a very important statement. That is, the home of the fish is deep water. This is where he spends most of his time. The older a fish gets and the bigger he becomes, the tighter he schools and the more reluctant he is to leave this deep water. The home of the fish is not in the shallows, along the side of a log or under a lily pad. When Buck Perry first made this statement over 50 years ago, there were a lot of fishermen that did not believe that the home of the fish was deep water. Now, 50 years later, most all fishermen agree that the home of the fish is deep water. If you're one of these that don't believe this, try to have an open mind, as this statement that the home of the fish is deep water will be the foundation for all future classroom sessions. So, as we said, the home of the fish is deep water. How deep it is depends on the weather and water conditions at that particular time. This means a depth sufficiently deep enough to protect him from a changing environment. If there is a depth of water more than 20 feet in the area being fished, this deep water sanctuary will always be below 20 feet. Under normal or average weather and water conditions, this deep water sanctuary would be about 30 to 35 feet or deeper. If this depth is not available, then the deepest water in the area would be the sanctuary, the home of the fish. Now here's a picture of a lake that has 3 deep holes. The home of the fish is in the deepest water in the area that you're being fished, not necessarily the deepest water in the lake. If you're fishing the area of the 35-foot hole, that would be the home of the fish. If you're fishing the area of the 50-foot hole, that area would be the home of the fish. Same thing if you were fishing in the area of the 65-foot hole. So remember, the deep water sanctuary is the deepest water in the area that you're fishing. Now let's take a look at this from a seasonal migration. We basically have two seasons, a warmer season and a colder season. Let's start out with the colder season, which is late fall, winter, and early spring. We have some rough changing weather and water conditions. The fish spend most of their time in the deepest water due to it being more stable. During this time of the year, most fish migrations towards the shallows will occur on structures that are more steep. These movements or migrations may not occur often and are somewhat unpredictable during the colder part of the season. Now during the bulk of the fishing season, which is late spring, summer, and early fall, the movements and migrations will occur on more gradual sloping structures. These movements or migrations will last longer and be more predictable than the colder part of the season. For more information on this classroom subject, as well as any others, check out structurefishing.com/education. Just sucked another fish here. It's hard to, feels big, hard to tell how big they are until you get to see them. Once again, we got this fish on the troll. It's all about depth and speed. These fish are deep. It was about 28 foot this fish hit, about 4 miles an hour. Yeah, I think this is a nicer one. The state has done a great job managing this body of water for northern pike. You're allowed one fish over 40 inches, so it's a trophy fishery. Whoa! Oh! Whoa! Yeah, this is a nice fish. Just took a run at the boat here. Wow! I think we do have a nice one here. No, it's not about a 30. Got the spoon plug. Really good. He's hooked pretty good, so we shouldn't have a problem there. Get him in the boat here. There you go. Boy, these fish are just so aggressive. Did a nice fish here. At least I think it's a nice fish. These fish are hitting so aggressive. Oh. Good conditions. I would expect or hope we would see some nice fish come out of here today. Once again, I'm trolling a deep break line. I was trolling hit this fish in about 30 feet of water, and our speed is fairly fast, probably about 3.5 to 4 miles an hour. And the only way to achieve that depth and speed control is on the troll. That's what we're doing here today. Yeah, this is a nice one. Sure, we got a nice one here. Staying down. These fish just slam the bait. Yeah, it's a nice northern. Whoa. Probably about 36 if I had to guess. See if I can pick them up good. There we go. It's a nice fish. Got him on a Buck Perry 800 series spoon plug. He's got a hook in his mouth pretty good. Get him out and do it. 34 incher.
Unlock the power of HDS with your fingertips. The power to find a needle in a haystack. You will outsmart the fish. Get there first with confidence and always stay one step ahead of Mother Nature. Find, navigate, dominate with the new HDS Gen 2 Touch from Lowrance.
XI5 from Motor Guide, a wireless trolling motor engineered for anglers by anglers, delivering key performance attributes with power, toughness, stealthy, quiet operation. And for you control freaks, our optional pinpoint GPS navigation system lets you position your boat precisely where the fish are, instantaneously, accurately, built to earn you bragging rights. Meet the all-new XI5, only from Motor Guide.
Would you like to catch more and bigger fish consistently? Are you tired of all the gimmicks out there? Buck Perry once stated that knowledge is the key to fishing success, not a fancy lure or the latest equipment. For a fraction of the price of a fishing guide, purchase Buck Perry's Guidelines for Fishing Success. This 8-volume home study course will guide you step by step and go over all the mechanics to become a successful fisherman. After completing this home study course, you'll have long-term success that will allow you to feel comfortable on any lake you fish and for any species. For more information and to purchase this home study course, visit structurefishing.com/education.
Just got another fish. They are just creaming the bait. Oh, these fish are very aggressive now. They should be, because we've got great weather conditions. This is, I think we're going on 6 or 7 days without a cold front going through, which is unheard of up here in the Midwest. And these fish are starting to get turned on, and they are just, he's swimming in them towards me now. Well, it's hard to tell how big these fish are because they are just so aggressive in hitting the bait down here. Pretty sure we're going to see a 40-inch fish before the day's over today. This is some of the best, this lake, one of the best northern pike lakes. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a nice fish. This is one of the best northern pike lakes. Oh yeah, he's, I'm guessing 38. If I don't lose him here. There we go. Get him out of the net here. I'll show you what we got here. That is, he's not a 40, but he is a very nice fish. This is a nice northern pike. Anywhere you go, this would be a nice fish. There we go. I'd say he's probably about a 35-incher. Real nice fish. Just took the fish there. Things slow down as we sit in basic movements of fish. And, you know, typically in the summertime you can expect under stable conditions the fish to move twice, and it's usually in the morning like we experienced today. Then I'll typically move again later in the day. So it's been several hours since we caught a norther, and I think the movement may. Oh yeah, may have just started. Yeah, we got he's a nice average sized fish. And clobbered the spoon plug here. There we go. Once again, our depth and speed control out here is what's getting all these fish. We're working, that 25, 30 foot deep brake lines at a fairly fast speed here.
Welcome to HLS News, your hook, line, and sinker news. I'm Candace Pierce. Our top story for today, the Illinois state record walleye, stood for just over 50 years, has now been broken, not once, but twice. 15-year-old Nick Tassani first broke the record while fishing with his father David in mid-January of 2012 on the Pecatonica River, when Nick landed a 14-pound, 12-ounce monster walleye. But just several weeks later, Jim Zimmerman of Beloit, Wisconsin, hooked another monster walleye, again from the Pecatonica River. The fish weighed in at just over 15 pounds. Looking for a new boat and don't like aluminum or fiberglass? Well, check out Triumph boats. Made out of a material called ropaline, Triumph's ropaline boats are dubbed as the world's toughest boat. Proven for years as a coastal and saltwater boat, Triumph has introduced the Model 170 Sportsman, geared toward the freshwater structure fishermen. For more info on these tough boats, go to triumphboats.com. Here are some facts for you. The economic facts of fishing. There are nearly 40 million anglers in America. They generate the following: over $16 billion in state and federal taxes, $45 billion in retail sales, and $125 billion in overall economic output. So the next time you go fishing, just think of it as you're doing your part to revive the economy. And while speaking about the economy, our last story for the day. In Japan, a new record was set for the most ever paid for a fish at the market. A 593-pound tuna sold for a record $735,000 to a sushi restaurant. Now that's a lot of sushi. That's your hook, line, and sinker news for the day. Thanks for watching.
Fish on! Fish on!
Fish on?
Fish on.
Fish on!
We're hearing reports of a fish on.
Fish on!
Ooh, fish on.
Fish on, fish on, fish on.
Fish on!
Parents, to plan your family's day on the water, visit takemefishing.org.
Before heading to your boat and every time you leave the dock, have all the detailed bottom structure you need to target fish. Offshore humps, ledges, creek channels, roadbeds, shown with the most accurate contour lines from Navionics. And it just keeps getting better with sonar charts. Submit your sonar logs for better local charts. The freshest data every day for your chart plotter and mobile device. View our charts online at navionics.com.
Meet America's favorite streaming players. The biggest streaming channel lineup. Over 200,000 movies and TV episodes. Roku. Now this is TV.
Do you find yourself lost on the water? Have you ever looked to see where the other fishermen are fishing? Are you looking to better understand fish movements and how fish use structure? It's a fact that learning to eliminate unproductive water quickly is a major key in fishing success. Do you want to feel comfortable on any lake you fish? Then hire a certified structure fishing instructor today. Jerry and John are certified structure fishing instructors through the Buck Perry Training Center. These CSIs will go out to your lake and teach you proper lure presentation, how to interpret a map, how to find and locate productive structure. They'll give you your own personalized instruction, both on and off the water. Past students include professional guides, tournament anglers, and regular weekend warriors seeking to better understand structure. Both John and Jerry fish the waters throughout the Midwest and beyond. Jerry's home base is Northern Illinois, and John resides in North Central Indiana. Instruction rates vary on distance traveled and days of instruction. Please contact John or Jerry to schedule your own personal instruction.
Oh, another big hit. Boy, these fish are so aggressive today. It's hard to tell if it's a 30-inch fish or a 40-inch fish. They're both hitting it really good. Oh, they're very active today. We're making it a real fun day out here in the water. Oh man, these fish don't want to come in. They are just smacking it. This is one of the best kept secrets in the Midwest, Lake Mendota for northern pike. Like I said before, the state has done an incredible job managing this lake for trophy northern pike. It's not uncommon, under good. We got really good conditions today, but under even average weather conditions, it's not uncommon to get 15 to 25, 30 plus of these northers a day. And the average size is incredible out here. But the wind picked up a bit. This fish is fighting really good. It's hard to say how big he is. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, this might be the 40-inch fish that we're looking for today. I think it is. Oh my gosh, folks, this fish is well over 40 inches. Oh. This is probably the biggest fish that I've caught out of here, out of Lake Mendota. Oh, I can't wait to see this fish. Came on the spook. This fish is big. Wow. Okay, you cut off the spook plug. Oh. This is a very good fish. That is at least a 40-inch fish. We are just miles away from I-90, 94. Every week there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of fishermen driving up north past these lakes to get fish like this. And they're driving right past it. They're in their own backyard. This is a great fish. As you can see, it was a great day in the water. Let's take a look at some of the notes. The weather was very stable, 5 days without a cold front. Our water was a medium yellow-green, and our depth were break lines 22 to 28 feet deep, and the speed was fast at 3.5 to 5 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the structure we were fishing. As we said, we found these northers on deep break lines 22 to 28 feet. As you can see on the map, I highlighted the 22-foot break line. In future classroom sessions, we'll go over how to interpret a map to find these structures. To achieve the depth and speed control that was needed, our lure presentation was trolling. As we said, our speed was fast. Trolling was the best way to achieve this speed control that was needed. Our lure selection was a deep diving bait running right at that 22-foot break line. I was using a Buck Perry 800 series spoon plug to achieve this depth and speed control. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks for watching. For more information on the structures that were fished today and where we caught the fish, visit Fishity for free and send a buddy request to Structure Fishing.